waiting for Zahar to return. He never did. Well, at least not from my perspective. After a whole night of watching surveillance, it was a loud crash, probably a stray cyborg or animal, that startled me awake. I quickly checked the footage to make sure I hadn't missed anything. I didn't see anything out of the ordinary. Just in case, though, I went back to the crash site to make sure. Old sport, everything was gone. Sure, the crater remained, but the ship wreckage seemingly disappeared overnight. Instead, all that was left was a sign, picketed in the middle of the crater. I wrote down what it said for you, old sport. You'll never believe it. Rebuilding my ship. Nothing mischievous, I swear. I know you crashed it. I don't have problems with you if you don't have problems with me. Just let me get my ship back. Zahar. I thought about it for a while, old sport. I sat reading that sign over and over. It just wasn't fair. It's not fair. It never was fair. That isn't a deal I could possibly agree to. Zahar, he's rebuilding his ship. He's getting back what I destroyed. I can't get Solus back. I can't rebuild Solus. They're gone. Now, this is where you may have to hear me out, old sport. I went to his old hideout, a place I swore I never would return to. I wasn't even sure if he still had a place there. I didn't know if he had moved. After all, we broke up a while ago. Though, I can't be certain when exactly. When I got there, the place almost looked exactly as I remembered it. He almost didn't look surprised to see me. He was just sitting there, polishing some random metal part in his hands. I may have just seen him yesterday, but seeing him in person again, seeing him truly, it was terrifying. I didn't know if I recognized him. He was everything I knew before. In this light, I could just make out the purple tint of his skin. It looked a little greyer than I remembered. At least I think. The clothing he always wore, it was more tattered than I remembered. He always kept the same kind of street style. In university, however, that might be different to what you're imagining, old sport. He looked tired. It reminded me of when I saw Thalia at Solus's burial. I just stared at him. All I could say in the end was, what happened? Zahar isn't much of a talker. It's ironic, really, from someone with a specialised skill in impressions. Though it never truly surprised me. He hated when I would therapize him, as he would call it, when we were together. But I didn't think I was exactly therapizing him, especially if I was telling him the truth. It was as if he were never comfortable in his own voice. That's why he mimicked people all the time. You never really ever heard him speak. He was always putting on a voice, putting on a mask, hiding behind someone else when I was talking to him. And that's exactly what he did when I met him in his hideout. He avoided my blatant question and instead just started jabbering on about something related to his ship. He was talking in his dad's voice. A typical approach from him. Taking a voice of an authority figure known to him to feel more important, to a certain point. But I had known him too long. I knew what he was doing. It took me a while to get through to him. I repeated his name over and over to try and get him out of this habit. And then I finally heard it. his voice. He was finally asking me why I was here. It was finally him. But before I could answer, he looked at me blankly, almost reading the intent in my eyes. He knew I wanted him to help me. Well, perhaps not wanted. Needed. He murmured something under his breath about doing something again, before turning his back to me. My eyes were fixed on what he was approaching, a concealed button within a painting on the wall next to him. With one click, he turns around to face me, with a smirk quickly crawling across his face, as the wall behind him lifts up to reveal what he has been working on. The recreation of his ship. Surrounding it were weapons beyond anything I had seen before. I could not begin to describe to you, Oldsmore, what exactly each thing did. I didn't know. With me speechless, Zahar says one final thing. Not in his own voice, but also not in his dad's. I hear Solus, one last time, saying, "Let's do this." So little time to talk, old sport. So little time before it all goes down, I think. I hate to admit how useful Zahar is to me. I must tell you plainly now, old sport, that I have no plans to continue to be in contact with him after this mission. Well, certainly not when in theory I will be free. If not free from the city, well, free from the agency. And I will have my contacts back. My agency back. Thalia. Back. Zahar has certainly been keeping me busy, old sport. It feels a little silly to admit, but I really do think we might be able to do it. Defeat the agency, that is. Defeat, free, dissolve, whatever we end up doing. I just have this feeling, this underlying feeling that it will all be okay. It does come with a feeling of unease, though, because when have I ever felt like things were going to be okay in the city? It almost feels as though I am not in my own mind. Almost like there is some kind of infiltrator in my thoughts. Maybe this is just another typical side effect of being in the city. Some kind of parasite that not only seemingly eats away at your memories, but also manipulates them now too. But that is simply another thing just to worry about after the agency is destroyed. God, I still have so much to do. What do I even say to Thalia when she's free? Oh, I should buy her hair dye. That would be a cute gesture, I think. I can't wait to talk to her again. Freely. No Morse code, no light. No burial setting. I can say with confidence, old sport, that I still have plenty of original thoughts. Maybe it's a little embarrassing to admit, but I haven't stopped thinking about kissing her again. The idea of being with her, touching her, being close to her again. She got taken from me so quickly, the idea of us together, free from the agency, free to just work together and find a way out in peace, it just sounds too good to be true. It's funny to think that only one thing stands in the way of that reality. Just one thing, one establishment. Did I say funny? I wouldn't say that's funny at all. I must say my final piece to you, February, before whatever chaos I will inevitably cause in the coming days. If only I could not be so dramatic. But I do not know another way of speaking. So, I guess I will share a story. Speak of something you may not even know yourself, February. There's this superstition that I hear throughout the city, and I believe it may just be like home, too. Wherever home seems to be, that is. Metal poles line the streets everywhere. Street lights, abandoned phone poles ever since the cells went out of circulation, street signs. It is said that if you are walking side by side, you must each never take two different sides of a pole. It is said that it will divide you, split the relationship apart, and distance you from each other. Did you know this, February? Did you know this when I would walk behind you to avoid the split? Did you know this when you did the same? Did you know this when you stopped? I don't know when, February, but something switched. You stopped making the effort. You would show no sign of moving. Suddenly, I wasn't always able to fight the split either. I concluded for a while that this must be why you left, February. The universe was simply doing its part. It was simply doing what it was expected to do. It split us apart. No. But I knew. I thought I understood that you left me here for a reason. I never blamed you. Why now must I be searching for a reason to? No, I think I understand. You always did know you were going to leave, February. You just didn't want to hurt me. But that's impossible. Because how could I not be upset? So you split the poles. You let the universe come between us in hopes that fate would separate us before you did. You tried. You tried to make it better by making it worse. I understand now. For if I were not to love you anymore, your leaving would hurt less, right? But the universe did nothing. It sat in wait, just as I always do, knowing that our relationship would split, just like the metal pole between us did, but not because of fate, because you needed to leave, and now my heart cannot be split.